guys, I am stuck in Rapid City, South Dakota. Our plane got grounded and we're here for about another 3 days, longer than we expected. Just to give you some context, I am needing to do a run and it's about 13 degrees outside this morning. So it's interesting. How do we do what is uncomfortable? There's an old Scandinavian phrase, and I'm going to butcher this, but it says, Defense ika dorlavad borda dorlia klad, which means there's no bad weather, only bad clothing. And so the reality is, for me to be able to do what I need to do, my problem is not how cold it is, it's how well I can dress. And I think there's something to be said as we look to the new year. What's it going to look like for you to be prepared in Christ for what you don't know in the new year? This is just a prelude, but I want to talk, beginning after the first of the year, we're going to talk a lot more about how what God is going to do in your life and what He's put on your heart, you can participate in to reach some of those goals, but that you aren't in charge of. You can't produce on your own. Maybe He's put on your heart that you want to get more physically fit. Maybe He's put in your heart that you want to take your career to the next level. Maybe He's leading you to make some changes and grow in relationships, in your family, in your marriage, to maybe be free of needing some of those things. So there's things that God is up to in your life that you get to participate in, but you never get to be the cause of. So how do we do that? So anyway, I am glad that you're here. I am sitting in the coffee shop, my favorite spot in Rapid City. It's Harriet and Oak Coffee House. They are a roaster. They have great coffee, and I'm really appreciative of such a warm spot. I'm going to shoot this video, and then I'm going to go for a run. But I want you to think for a minute, maybe take just a moment to pray about what it means for you to be prepared by grace for what you don't know God is going to do in your life. We're going to share 3 ways that you can be prepared from a biblical perspective. Okay, so the first way that you can be prepared is to know your hope. You can know your hope in circumstances when you don't know what's happening. 1 Peter 3:15 says that we should revere in our hearts Christ as Lord. And because of that, we can know our hope and have an answer for everyone who asks for the hope that is within us. In other words, our hope is intricately connected to our understanding and revering Christ as Lord. Listen, we don't have hope because we know God's plan in every circumstance. We have hope because we know God is the one who has the plan amidst all of our circumstances. So it's about time that we talk about the second reason you can be prepared, the second way, rather, you can be prepared in whatever is to come. Not only can you know your hope because Christ is sovereign, so you can know your hope regardless of what happens. But number 2, you can know your worth without worrying what's coming. Jesus in Matthew 6 talked about how everything that we need, the pagans run after. People that don't know God are living for what they need in their circumstances. But then he says something really incredible in Matthew 6:26. He says, look at the birds of the air. They neither toil, nor spin, nor reap, nor sow. They don't store up in barns. And look how your Father, so it's not their Father. He doesn't even call him their creator, though he is. He says, your Father takes care of them. Aren't you worth more, much more than they? Aren't you more valuable than they? Listen, if you knew what you were really worth to Him, then you wouldn't be striving for what you need from your circumstances. You would be radically available for whatever He wants to do in and through you in those circumstances. Can you trust God enough with what you need to be available to participate in His life and His agenda in your circumstances? In that way, you can not just know your worth, but really begin, as you mature in trusting Him, begin to experience Christ as your life in and through you. Finally, not only can you know your hope because you know who's in control? And can you know your worth without worry because of his value of you? Where you can know beyond a shadow of a doubt, you can actually know your purpose. And you can know your purpose without knowing in advance everything about God's plan. Paul in Philippians 3, he's talking in verse 7 through 10 about, everything that could be said about someone could be said of him, right? About his ability, his pedigree, his opportunity, his intelligence. Everything that could be benefit to him in the flesh, he says is not only worthless, he actually says it's a detriment. Those things actually could cost me compared to the surpassing riches of knowing Christ. And then in verse 10, he says this incredible thing. He says, I want to know, and that word know is experientially and relationally know. It's how you get to know someone. I want to know intimately, personally, relationally, experientially, to know Christ. That's what I want. I don't want to be better, do more, accomplish more, somehow say anything about me. Instead, I want to know experientially and relationally, intimately. I want to know Christ. What Paul is talking about then is knowing his purpose. He says, I want to know Christ. No matter what is coming up in the near future, what Christ has called us to is a deeper relationship with him and the Father. Christ is our life, so every circumstance can serve to know him more. Listen, know your hope because Christ is in control. Know your worth because God is your Father. You never have to worry. And 3, know your purpose, which is to know Christ, who is your life in all circumstances. Hang with us. We'll finish up with a final little word in just a moment. I got to finish out this run. So listen, in every moment of every day, in the days to come, in every circumstance, embrace his grace. It's always sufficient. It's always more than you could ever hope or imagine. It's always born of his love for you and produces his love through you. So embrace his grace in every circumstance. Let him love through you. As he loves you, let him love through you. He's the one who can do it in all things. And share his life for his renown. Embrace his grace, share his love, enjoy his life in his ridiculous grace in and through you. God bless you guys. Talk to you again soon.